Zero G flex hose, but it is not a stretch hose. However, there is a little bit of elasticity to it. And there's the other end that I cut off because it had a leak. And I can just tell you within 1 year of having this, it had a leak. But in order to get a refund, I had to cut the ends off. So I cut it off where the leak is. And I hope that's good enough because they kind of want it close to the end. And then I purchased 1/2 by 1/2 straight coupling pieces. And then also a 5/16 to 5/8 hose clamp. And there's the end. And I'm going to work it on there. And I'll take some start and stop videos here as I try and do this. Now, I tried to use a standard 5/8 hose coupler that I purchased at the hardware store. However, it was too hard to get this hose over the 5/8 hose coupler. Now, these Zero Gs come in different sizes. I thought this was a 5/8, and maybe it is when it expands, but I couldn't get that over that 5/8, so it's more like a half. So the half is a little bit loose, but I think with this hose clamp on here, it should work. So let's give it a shot and see what we can do. Okay, as you can see, I slipped the hose clamp down below the hose. I also have this pinched off so I don't, so the elasticity does not shrink way in the hose. It's not too bad. You can get it out with a pair of vice grips or a pair of needle nose pliers. However, I have this set up. I have the coupler in there. I have the hose clamp on there. Now I am going to use my vise because this is very tight, and I have the hose clamp opened about as far as I can get it without it coming apart. I'm going to try and pull down on my vise and work this in. I will work on this off camera because I only have one hand to hold the camera and I need two hands to work. Okay, so I basically put this in my vise and I pulled down on the hose until I got the hose clamp over the end piece, and it definitely helped having this in the vise to try and pull on it. It's very snug, but it looks like it went on there, and this should work. I'll do the other side, and I have to do this 4 times because I had to cut the end off my hose. Now, and I had to cut the ends off in order to try and get a refund. But we'll see if I can end up with a new hose with the refund and a standby hose if this works. Okay, I'm going to share with you, if you can see, this is the hose where it split. See if we can get some focus on here. You can see the little slit, and then this is also splitting on this side. So I'm going to have to cut into this a little bit. It looks like the thing laid flat and creased and wore a crease, but that was the cut where I cut it in half, where the water was leaking. So that's, yeah, this thing's supposed to last 5 years. And it didn't last very long. So I don't know, maybe these hoses aren't as good as they think they are. Okay, so this one leaked a little bit, and this hose gets some serious pressure on it. However, I was able to tighten the hose clamps, crank them down, and it stopped the leak. And the thing looks like it held some pretty good pressure. I'm going to let it ride out for a few days, and I might wrap these with some Gorilla Tape, just so people don't scrape their hands on the nuts here. But it looks like this works. So far I salvaged the hose.